And here in southern New England, some residents are concerned about people from New York coming here and potentially spreading the virus.
And starting tomorrow, Governor Gina Raimondo has ordered the National Guard to go door to door in coastal communities looking for people from New York. And today, state troopers began pulling drivers over if they have New York license plates. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Nesbitt spoke with one of those drivers. He's here now with the new details.
A mandatory checkpoint has been set up here on Interstate 95 in Hopkinton, where all drivers from New York are required to stop and register themselves with the National Guard if they plan on staying in Rhode Island. As you drive into Rhode Island from Connecticut on Interstate 95, you'll read this traffic sign telling New Yorkers to stop.
I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Tara Copey drove up from Staten Island to pick up a new puppy for her family. She was given a packet by the National Guard
That 14-day rule
saying that New Yorkers are required to quarantine for 14 days if they plan on staying in the Ocean State.
I feel bad that New York is getting such a bad rap sheet when it's really all over the place.
The ACLU of Rhode Island called the order by Governor Raimondo unconstitutional, a claim she disputed Friday, saying it's what needs to be done with New York City just 180 miles away.
It's consistent with all the guidance we're getting from the federal government and from experts, and it's what I know to be necessary in order to keep Rhode Islanders safe.
Some New Yorkers, like Michael Chavone, traveled to Rhode Island from New York City before the governor's announcement.
It made sense to get out of there while I could.
He still plans on self-quarantining for 14 days while staying at his parents' house in Providence, and understands why others from New York City would be traveling north to quarantine.
Heading into Florida on I-10 and the eastbound lanes, well, it's going to be a different kind of welcome, especially if you're from Louisiana. This is the way station just across the state line from Alabama. Florida Department of Transportation, Florida Highway Patrol working traffic control for the Florida Department of Public Health, who are screening anyone from Louisiana or any other area designated a hotspot. 2 tents set up here in the parking lot where passenger vehicles are asked a couple of questions. They are instructed to self-isolate for 14 days, and then they are registered in a state database so health officials can follow up with them at a later date. Commercial vehicles are not affected. This checkpoint set up today about noon. We're also told that on I-95 in Florida, they are also setting up checkpoints for folks who may be traveling to Florida from New York.